recording?
Yeah, it's all good.
Fine.
Whenever you're ready.
Can I just point out that's not a Campari and soda? It's a blackcurrant soda.
Drink that we sell.
I'm an actor who's mainly worked in comedy for the last few years. I've been working for 7 years now as an actor and a writer. My first lead in a series was in 2002, which is in a show that flopped called 20 Things to Do Before You're 30. A little bit of time after that, I then went on to Teachers to do the fourth series of that, which was then cancelled. And then I went on to do 3 seasons of Catherine Tate Show. She's probably the best female performer there's ever been, and as a woman in that industry, I don't want to get into all that, but as a woman in this industry doing what she's doing, there hasn't been anybody quite like it, I don't think. The thing is, I don't really have a normal day because it varies so much, because I do voiceovers as well. I might have a voiceover, so that would normally be at 10 o'clock, so I'll go in and do that and then have a bit of lunch and then think about funny things and sometimes write them down. Or I might have nothing on, in which case I just go to the gym and potter about and watch things that maybe should inspire me. Because it's good to know what's going on, what's being made, who's in it, who's writing it, who's around, who's making interesting stuff, who's not making interesting stuff. You know, you've got to try and be as well read in your chosen field as you possibly can be. I have just been filming two comedy series for the BBC. One for BBC Three called Gavin and Stacey, and one for BBC Two called Roman's Empire. They'll both be out this year in 2007, very soon in fact. Well, I mean, doing what I do, you do get to meet loads and loads of people who have some regard within society. Famous actors or writers, comics, and this might be through the work that you do, or it might be through events that you get to go to. Because I'm part of the Catherine Tate Show, it's been nominated for lots of awards and won a few, so I've been lucky enough to be able to go to award ceremonies and see around me people who have inspired me in the past and continue to do so. Even better than that is working with them. So, for example, I've just done a job, Gavin and Stacey for BBC Three, which is produced by Baby Cow, which is Steve Coogan's production company. It was a huge, huge influence on me when I was a teenager. To get to work with him and be cast in a show made by his company as the lead is just, it's totally exhilarating, really. I think that the showbiz side of it is quite dangerous, really. I'm not really at that stage yet, because on the whole, I'm sort of known as a sidekick in a comedy show. That may change over the next few years, I don't know, fingers crossed it will. In terms of the recognition you get for what you do, that's great, and I would never shun that, because that's a lovely thing. The sort of late teen market, all, you know, on the whole, they know me from Teachers, and they loved that show because it was, it broke some boundaries and it was a bit risque. And it was... But with Catherine Tate, I feel personally it's a slightly older audience. When I'm out and about, it's not teenagers that have seen me in that. It's just, I would say 20, 22 upwards. I don't personally go out for commercials myself anymore, although I have done them in the past. And that's a decision that I made a few years ago. Whether that will change, I don't know. So I reserve judgment at the moment because it hasn't really happened to me. I would find it very difficult to put my name to a brand, or put my face to a brand on such a big scale. I don't know anybody who would look at David Beckham and say, he's so good, I've got to get that phone. But then again, maybe I do know people that look at Mitchell & Webb in the Mac commercials and go, they're really funny, I want to buy a Mac. I've worked with Rob Brydon recently, and he's pretty much every voiceover on the telly. And he also does a variety of work, different genres of work, so I think he's influential. I've worked with Noel Fielding and Julian Barrett. I think they're hugely influential in terms of the style of their work that they do. It's taken them a long time to get there. but everything that's happening to them now they deserve, and I think they're a massive, massive influence on the teen market at the moment. I don't know, it's such a fickle business, and you can be hot one minute and then you can get dropped. That's why it's so frightening. But those people who continue to make great stuff are just supremely talented and are not afraid to embrace new... It's the army! So it was at college in Manchester and loved that. I think Manchester's amazing because it's got its own unique culture, and the people are great, and it has its own little movements in music and comedy and film and stuff, and I think it's just totally unique to anywhere else in the UK. My ideal night out would be a Sunday afternoon in the Bedroom Bar on Rivington Street near Old Street. My experiences of working with the lounge have been really good. From start to finish. On the project that I worked on, they were relaxed and welcoming and exciting and accommodating and fun and funny and lots of other adjectives that are all good and no bad ones.